It says we're live. It does not
Yeah.
show that on YouTube though. But maybe it's because there's a delay. So we're gonna do like we did last time and sit here for a couple minutes and wait for some people to join.
Yeah.
But for those watching this on the playback, welcome. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us here. Ooh, let me mute that. Thank you for joining us here with my good friend Billy Bellino. Say hello to everybody, Billy.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? Hope you're
Welcome to
staying
our
safe.
yeah. Hope everybody's doing well out there during these, as they're calling them, uncharted waters, uneasy times, whatever people are referring to this time as that we are currently experiencing. And
Yep.
we're here live again. This is our second live stream. If you didn't join us for the first one, welcome to your first live stream here with us. And if you were there, thank you for coming back and joining us again. We've got a multitude of things to talk about today. And we will also be, of course, as last time, fielding any questions that people have for myself or Billy or both of us about anything. Doesn't have
Yep.
to be about drums.
Anything. We can
We
spice
know
it up this
we
time.
know how that goes. We learned from our experiences last time that you're welcome to ask drum questions, but they usually get pretty boring for people that are
Yeah.
watching that aren't drummers and don't get it. But Billy, how have you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. I've been keeping busy. Uh, so yeah, pretty good.
That's great. I've
Yeah.
been trying to be keeping busy as well. I'm sure your workload is not as much as mine is because it seems
No,
like you high schoolers are kind of getting your slack cut off a little bit.
a little. It's pretty
I
nice.
mean, how much work do you really have that you're doing? Like how
Uh,
long does it take you to get through your work in a day?
uh, well, I mean, they kind of some teachers just throw the work at us on Monday and then say it's due at the end of the week. So I usually just pick at it, for maybe an hour a day, and then it's done by Friday.
Nice. Well, at
Yeah.
least you're staying on top of it because it seems like some people just don't do their work at all. Why bother?
Yeah.
My father is a high school teacher at Danville area high school, so I get to hear all this stuff from him all the time about what he's going through as a teacher.
Mhm.
But as far as going through things as a college student, to answer the question of good friend Dominic Frieden here, how's it going, Dom? Hope you're
How you
doing well,
doing,
buddy.
buddy?
I saw your watched your Blackbird video the other day. It was really
Oh,
great.
good.
Really enjoyed it. But to answer your question, how is quarantine affecting the life of a college student? Um, there's certain things that I enjoy and that I am benefiting from, and there are certain things that I am not enjoying. Um, doing classes on Zoom is nice because I get to just sit back, and just hang out and listen to a lecture or whatever. The only classes that I have like actual video like Zoom stuff with is my two theory classes, my lecture and my lab. And those are kind of interactive. We do listening exercises and stuff like that. So the classes themselves have not been that much affected. What's nice is like for my two gen eds, I like they'll just post an assignment for us to put on a discussion board because a lot of gen eds are like discussion based. Like for my writing course, we have to write papers, but then like he'll have us write short essays and then have us comment on each other's on discussion boards because like we have class discussions all the time. So like that, it's just like due by the end of the day whenever he posts it. So I don't have to get up when that class starts at 9 o'clock and do like I could do my work, anytime during the day, which is nice. I try to get it all done in one chunk of time so I kind of get through it all. And my other gen ed has kind of lightened up the workload a little bit, which has been nice. So it's nice being home. It's definitely adjustment from living in a dorm and being able to do whatever you want whenever you want. Um, which I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing having to be at home all the time with all their family members and if everybody else in their house is at home. Um, like I know for me, like if at school you can pretty much go to a practice room and practice whatever you want. Now, as a maybe a guitarist or a pianist or maybe even a vocalist, depending on where practicing at, you can pretty much do that whenever. But I know, like, for myself and Billy here, who are drummers, we can't stay up and practice whenever we want.
Yeah.
You can do pad work and whatnot, but you're only going to get so far doing that. Like, and get your hand exercises in, but can't whack a cymbal at midnight.
Nope.
I mean, pretty much how late are you able to practice till, Billy?
I'd say 10 is kind of the cutoff.
Oh man, Paulie and Judy Goose Sue are really giving it to you there.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have
how
to.
about
I Handy Andy goes to bed by like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
oh,
He goes up and watches Tim the Tool Man and falls asleep.
mm,
So if
Tim the
I'm doing
Tool
anything,
Man.
yeah, what's that show called? Home Improvement. Tim Allen.
Oh, okay.
So
Tim the
I'm
Tool
sure
Man.
people are just raving over this conversation. But yeah,
Mm,
so
I'm
the
sure.
college life is interesting being at home. It's definitely nice to be able to get your work done whenever you want. And
Mm,
like, I can sit here and eat lunch and do my work, and then as soon as I'm done, I can get up and practice for an hour, and then I can take a break from practicing and do a little bit more work. Cuz I'm right here. School's a little bit harder because you gotta leave your apartment or your dorm and then walk to where the practice rooms are, and then you gotta go in and set up your shit in the practice room, and then like it's like you want to just cruise through all your practicing and then go do your work afterwards. So it's kind of nice to just do that whenever, as long as it doesn't get too late. So there's the things I like about it and the things I don't like about it. It's definitely been an adjustment, but I think the Berkey family now has adjusted pretty well. I don't know about the Bolino family because you've got
yeah,
a
we've
college
I think
student in your
we've
house.
yeah. He gets it done. I don't know when, I don't know how, but he gets it done.
I'm sure my brother could say the same thing,
Yeah.
because I get up early enough in the day to get all my work done. I mean, my theory classes are at 11, so I can't sleep in that late.
Yeah.
Because by the time he gets up, I'm usually done with my work. So,
Yeah. And I've had to adjust my sleep schedule as well
oh, I'm
from
sure.
staying up till, whenever I feel like going to bed, which is like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then waking up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
I mean, I've had those nights too.
Yeah.
Why
But no,
not?
yeah.
But like, it's nice. Like, I'll go on walks more often. I've been trying to walk more often just to get out of the house. Even like
Yeah.
I haven't left. I guess I'll say my neighborhood now since it's been at least 3 or 4 weeks now. Like, I've left my house to go on a walk, but other than that, like, I haven't seen or been anywhere
Yeah.
else. So, so far we just have that one question from Dom, and we have 4 viewers watching. So
Hello, 4 viewers.
thank you to those who are watching us here. Um, we also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other current things that have happened since the last time that we went live, and if anybody wants to comment on anything that maybe they've experienced in the world due to all of the pandemic events that are going on, we'd love to hear about it. Any other questions as well are welcome. Um, but we've lost a bunch of musicians um,
Yeah.
due to the coronavirus, including Bill Withers and John Prine,
Yep.
and Hal Wilner. And for those who don't know who Hal Wilner is, he was a music producer and sketch music writer slash producer on SNL for many years. There's a really cool video. If I remember to, or if someone reminds me, I'll link it in the description. And I meant to do that in the last one of these, which I thought it would be helpful for people that are watching this back if they don't know what we're referring to, that they can look at it in the description. Because I'm looking at my notes
Yeah.
page here, and I have it written down from last time. The one Jeff Picard tune that someone had recommended, and I totally forgot to link it. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, Hal Wilner was a music producer on SNL, and there's a really cool video on the SNL YouTube channel. I think I had showed that to you, Billy. I don't know if you remember or not.
You may have. I don't recall it.
It's a really good video. I'll have to send it to you. It's a really good
Yeah.
video talking about the SNL band and how they produce music for their sketches, and like it was like a whole cool behind the scenes thing about the SNL band and whatnot. And they talk about the the intro music and the outro music, which is really interesting. So, but they have a
Mm.
bunch of stuff with Hal Wilner in there, talking
Nice.
about sketches for or the music for the sketches and whatnot. So, there were also a couple musicians that were diagnosed with coronavirus, including Christopher Cross and Marianne Faithful, which maybe we'll get a little bit on Marianne Faithful here from our guest David Montis when he joins here after a bit. I still have to send him the link for this. I will do that then.
Oh, did you didn't even send him the link yet?
No, because I mean, I was just planning on doing it like we did with Nick last time. We'll chat
He
for a little
comes
bit
in
here,
later.
and then he'll join in. We'll
Okay.
chat with him. Um, but yeah, and so it's been really interesting to see how this has been affecting everybody. We were just eating dinner and watching the news, and I don't know how often you've been watching the news about all this, Billy, but there.
Probably not as much as you.
Oh well, I
Yeah.
haven't been watching that much. I just like will occasionally like watch if it's on while we're eating dinner or something. But they were talking about protests and like how people are now protesting the stay-at-home orders and whatnot, which is pretty interesting. Like we're all
Yeah.
supposed to be social distancing, but people really aren't doing that. So
Yeah.
how long have you been home for now?
Uh,
Like actually like no one's been to your house and you haven't left your house
it's
besides like
been
going out for a walk or whatever.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people are. It's. I mean, that's what it seems like. People are getting annoyed by
Yeah.
this now. But I'm telling you, if it seems like if we all just stick with this, we're gonna come out in a better
Yep.
way than we maybe would if we didn't. I'm sure it's frustrating for a lot of people. It's certainly. I'm sure it's frustrating for you because you're not doing all that much school stuff. Like I'm still doing a little bit of school stuff, and I can tell you that it's probably going to get a lot more frustrating when I don't have school stuff to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another 2 weeks. I'll be done with school and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens then,
Mm.
and hopefully I don't fall off the deep end and stay up until 3 and get up at noon and whatnot because I've been on a
Yeah.
pretty good schedule right now. So we'll see. But, um, you've got school till when?
I what is it? May, I want to say.
End of May, somewhere around there.
End of May.
Yeah. You still got plenty to do, but
Yeah.
you don't have finals to study for or
Nope.
anything.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a break.
So if anybody else has any comments or questions about any of this or care to share anything about what's going on in their lives, please comment and let us know what's going on. Our two viewers that we have here are wonderful.
Yeah. 2 viewers. Thanks for watching, guys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate your support here. Um, wanted to also, so we were getting into talking about last time we were talking about things that we have been doing during this quarantine and our time at home here. And we're talking Billy. We had Nick and Billy talking about some of the recordings that they've been doing, and so we thought it would be interesting for today to kind of talk about um, recording and stuff like that because I've noticed a lot of um, my inspirations in music and lots of other bands and artists and things like that that have been recording more at home. Recently, Todd Zuckerman announced that he's
Yep.
releasing an album, and I pre-ordered a copy of it, and I think it shipped out yesterday. I think I got an email about it. So some people are putting out brand new music now. I mean, he had been recording that for a while, was planning on, excuse me, releasing it at some point,
Yep.
but decided to release it now, in light of everything that's going on. So we we're kind of talking about what things people are recording and doing to keep busy, and especially like the music business is taking a different shift, um because of what's going on. I've certainly been become more interested in recording and seeing how people are recording at home, and I've been looking at um investing in some new recording equipment to make things easier and
What kind of
give my
recording equipment? Or will we get to that later?
I've been looking at. We can talk about it with Montis too because I know he's got some knowledge on that. I just sent him the link. Montis, if you're watching this, I just emailed you the link for this. If you join, we'll add you in here, add you into the conversation because I know you've been recording some stuff as well, which we can talk about. Um, but I was just looking at getting an audio interface instead of using a board,
Mm.
and basically, did you know the difference between like what an like the main difference between an audio interface and a board, like a soundboard, like the
Uh,
one I've got here,
between that and an audio phase?
an audio interface.
No.
So an audio interface basically allows you to multi-track in your DAW,
Okay.
whereas a board, and I know that's what you're using too. So when you record your board into your computer, you're getting one channel of audio.
Yeah.
No matter how many things you have plugged into that board, you're getting one channel of audio.
Yep.
So with an audio interface, it's got preamps and all your mic channels are going in as different mic channels
Oh, I see. Okay.
in whatever DAW you're using.
Got
So like you can like I was looking at an 8-channel Behringer one, just because I've been so happy with the Behringer board that I have here, and it seems like it's the best kind of bang for your buck audio interface that you can get. I mean, it's still around like $300 or something like that, but I mean, in the scheme of things, like a lot of them are a lot more pricey than that. So for 8 channels, like you can record drums pretty well with that.
Mhm.
You know, I would start by just using all the mics and channels that I have now, which is only 4, and I just record that way, and then eventually invest in some more mics and whatnot. Um, but yeah, so that's the main thing that I'm looking at investing into, just to get into the recording thing a little bit more. And I mean, it's always good to be able to record at home. You never know when you're going to need to record something, but I think it would be fun to have a little bit better quality of recordings. Um, I mean, what are you using to record right now?
Um, well, just I just kind of use this board here, and then I've got all these Audix and Shure microphones, and that's kind of what I use. And then for stringed instruments, it's usually just direct in. Um, but yeah, it's not really
So
that.
you're not. Are you going through your like when you're recording your guitar per se? Are you going through your board and then into the?
So no, when I do electric guitar, I have a Shure. I don't know the number, but I I put that in front of the amp,
Your
and then I record
your
it that way.
SM57, right?
Is it the SM57?
Does it? Hold on.
Yeah, I had them all, and then I put them away, and I don't feel like getting them back out now.
Does it look like this?
It does look like that.
Okay, that's the 57.
Yeah,
This is not a 57
yeah.
though.
That's
This is the Pile, the $12 Pile microphone, the SM57 knockoff.
yeah. So yeah, I have one of those, um, and then I have an Audix. Don't know the number
Your
again,
kick
but it's for
drum,
the bass. Yeah, for the
the
bass drum
D6, I
mic.
think is what it's called.
Yeah, and then
I
I
might be
have
wrong on that though. I don't know.
I don't know. And then I have this one here. This is the
That's a 58.
SM58. I use this for vocals and for the snare actually, and sometimes I use it for an overhead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have an Audix, whatever the long skinny one is for. That's another overhead I use. Um, and that's usually the drum setup is like that, and then I usually just use the SM57 for recording things from an amplifier, uh, and then usually most of my other stuff is just direct in.
Your bass and keys go direct.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I do it too, or you mic the acoustic guitar or whatnot.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and now, so we don't have to keep jabbling on anymore. People don't have to listen to us for a little bit. We have the one and the only, our guest here
Oh,
for
thank
this
God.
evening's streams. The one and only David Montis.
What you eating there, buddy?
He's eating some
Nice.
Triscuits.
Triscuits.
Everybody, our 2 people that are watching, please welcome David Montis to the stream. David Montis, thank you for joining us here.
Yeah, great to be here.
My first question.
Alive.
Yeah, yeah. My first question for you is: are you in your new house?
No,
Okay,
You're
you
getting a
must
new
have gotten
house?
some.
I don't know when that will happen.
Okay,
It's kind of hard now because of this whole
yeah, I would
stay-at-home
imagine.
thing.
But it looks like you've got some new shelves back there with all your CDs and your records. Looks great.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some Chicago albums actually signed.
No shit.
Wow.
Wow.
No, it is by Peter Cetera.
Oh, just Peter Cetera.
Yeah, just him.
Oh, it would have been cool if it was Terry Kath, but
Well, hey, you get what you can get.
Peter Cetera is Peter Cetera. It would be
Yeah,
really cool to have like Chicago 16 or 17 signed by him.
I don't know. I'm still flabbergasted that he got something signed by Peter Cetera.
Yeah, I know. Where did you get that?
oh, the record shop.
The one in Montoursville or the one
Yeah.
in? Oh, cool. I've yet to go there. We were talking about taking a record trip at some point.
Yeah.
Cade and I were, and I wanted to include you guys on in that too. We would hit those places in Bloomsburg, and then we'd go up to Williamsport and hit those places. That would be a lot of fun.
I need to
Hopefully, at
get
some point.
I need to get some money first because I have $0.
Mm.
So
Which, speaking of that, isn't today record store day or something
It,
like that?
really,
it was. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Whatever that, I don't know what that
Like-
entails, but
a holiday?
Yeah.
apparently, who knew? Who knew they had a
No.
record store day, or it was like go to a record store day or something like that. I don't know. Too bad we couldn't go to a record store today. Wish we could. But so Montes, we're talking about recording and stuff like that because obviously the live music industry, not just the music industry, but the live music industry specifically,
Mm-hmm.
has taken a little bit of a hit because of all this stay-at-home stuff that's
Oh
going
yeah.
on. You're not able to go out and perform and all that. So, what have you been up to now that you're home from school? How much longer do you have school for? Tell us a little bit about what you're up to and whatnot.
Well, my last day of school, I believe, is May 7th or 8th. I know my last lesson with Larry is the 8th. So that's in a few weeks.
So you're doing FaceTime lessons with him?
No, we Zoom.
Zoom. Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, lessons. Got some papers I have to do, which I don't want to do,
Mhm.
but I have to.
Yeah, I have I have my last first year writing paper I have to do still.
Oh yeah, I had that last year.
Mhm.
Wasn't fun.
Nope.
No fun.
No, especially when at least for us, like the guy modeled the papers that he has for us like off of like Philadelphia and stuff. So like our second and our third paper were like our third paper is about museums, and so we were supposed to go to a museum and write about a museum. And our
Yeah.
second one was supposed to be about public art, and like we had to start writing it like right as we all left school. So it was kind of inconvenient. So yeah.
Yeah. But I've been keeping busy with all my school stuff,
Mhm.
music theory. It's painful.
What theory are you in?
Well, it's music theory too. It's like the stuff at Uptown, just
Oh, okay,
more advanced.
gotcha.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
There's some things in theory that I don't like, and there's some things that I do like, and I think it just depends on how you get it all.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't like that class being online. I have to be there for that class.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see the teacher. I have to shake his hand.
It is it is helpful if you can shake your teacher's hand when you're in class. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like just for one example, and hopefully this gentleman doesn't watch this, and I don't think he will. But there's this one guy that's in my one theory class, and he doesn't know, and maybe he doesn't even know it's him. But like because we have it on Zoom, it's like you've got to mute your mic when you're not talking. And like you can mute it and then like you can hit your space bar and you can talk into it. Since I'm using my board, I'll hit the mute button here. and then I just said so you can't hear what I'm saying. So I'll just mute it here, and then I'll hit the button when I want to talk. He doesn't understand that he needs to mute his mic, and like and I'm sure like I've had other classes that people don't understand that either. I'm sure everybody's experienced it, whatever. But like it's tough when the teacher is trying to play something on the piano. Like he has a piano set up, and he'll try to play something on the piano, and then the guy will like move an inch, and it'll be like that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And then it like cuts out the teacher's audio because his audio is coming through, so then you can't hear what the teacher's playing anymore. So that kind of stuff is a little tough doing it online, but luckily we're getting through and it's not that bad. We've got like transcriptions due, so that's outside of class stuff. That's what our final is, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it does sound interesting.
Are you doing any transcriptions and stuff like that in your theory class or no?
No, we're just doing some stuff I don't understand. So
what is it?
Well, what was we just finished talking about applied, like triads, like resolving, all the stuff like that.
Cadences.
Yeah, I mean that stuff I understood. It's just like periods and stuff like that. All this confusing stuff. Nah, not for me. It also doesn't help that my music theory teacher I had last semester, which I learned a lot from, was on sabbatical this semester. So I got a completely new teacher.
Oh wow. Yeah,
so that threw the whole learning experience off.
Sure.
Yeah. But aside from school, I'm keeping up here and getting some music stuff done.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
What kind of things are you working on right now? If you don't want to share any important details, that is okay.
Well, I'm not really working on anything particular.
Well, I saw that you put up a drum cover.
I did.
Are you planning on doing more of those?
Yeah.
Cool. And what kind of setup did you have? Huh?
Well, no.
I didn't see the cover. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I may have broken a copyright law because
you pulled a Terry Keating.
I haven't gotten told for it yet. So,
did you get did you get demonetized though?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Interesting.
It's the Beatles, yeah. So that stuff is like.
When I noticed, and I did it too. I had a problem with it when I did, and I'm sure there's other people that have experienced too. If any of you 3 viewers have experienced any copyright problems on YouTube, shoot us a comment or a question if you got anything. But I had that problem when I did my ballet for Girl Buchanan cover.
And it was talking about that.
And the only part in it that I had a problem with was Color My World. And I don't know why. The single of it must have more copyright restrictions on it than the rest of the songs in the tune, or the rest of the sections, I should say. But yeah, so I had to cut that out, and it's just me playing. But then there were a couple other parts that had gotten hit too from that album, so I just lowered the audio enough so that it couldn't be heard. And like my drums were over top of it. So if you listen to it with headphones, it sounds a little better than if you're like listening to computer audio. So, but yeah, like I noticed yours had a pretty, like you could hear the song pretty well, and I listened to it with headphones on. So I think it's, I would say it's probably recommended if you're going to do covers like that have copyright stuff, and you got to lower the volume to listen to it with headphones on.
Yeah, but for setup wise, you gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Setup wise, I don't know what mic it was. Some mic that my dad got from a friend at work a long time ago, and then you're gonna like this, Tate. I got the Pile mic.
Yes, Pile strong.
I don't have money for the expensive things.
I barely do either. I'm barely gonna snake by with with getting this new interface if I get it.
But yeah, I had a Pile on the snare and a kick. going through a Yamaha mixer, which it's not the it's okay. It's not the best. The recording volume is very low, so I have to like again I use Audacity because again I don't have money, and it's just you have to amplify it a little, but you can't do it too much because then you're gonna get this
Mhm.
all throughout the song, which I don't like that.
Yeah, I noticed that with some of the early recordings that I did on Audacity.
Yeah.
And which speaking of which, I don't wanna take away from you talking about. Do you have a like, are you using Pro Tools now because of your major at college or no? Or what are you using
Well,
now?
here's the thing. My teacher gave us all Pro Tools license, but the thing is, I'm having trouble like accessing it.
Is it
I mean,
maybe something with your computer?
I'm gonna go in and try it again, but I also downloaded Repo, which
Oh,
just
okay, Reaper's good.
yeah. So I've kind of trying to use that,
Mhm. Yeah,
but
Reaper's
yeah,
Reaper's a good program, and of course, if you're starting out, like Billy, I know he's using Audacity now,
Yep.
which Audacity is a great program, you know?
I
hmm
think so, yeah.
I mean, I use it all the time, so
Yeah, that was which I found something here that, we will share for the listening enjoyment of our 3 viewers, here in a little bit that I wanna share because 'cause we're talking about recording stuff. But anyways, keep going, keep going.
that's it.
Oh, that was all about your setup?
That's it.
Okay, cool.
Not
And
in
what,
particular.
has anything changed about your drums and cymbal specs? You're still using your Pearl kit and whatnot?
Yeah, still Quill kit. I still have the Peisty PST7
Oh, nice.
and the Zildjian ZBT ride, which I might be replacing in a few days,
Oh,
few weeks.
nice. What are you gonna replace it with?
Well, I was looking on eBay because again that's what I do,
Mhm.
and I found this let me pull it up real quick so I
Okay.
get the right
eBay's the
thing.
place to go.
It
eBay
is.
and, Reverb. I've been looking a lot on Reverb in my downtime. I have
Me
the app
too.
now, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Reverb a lot too. Where is it? Where's my? There it is.
Facebook Marketplace, although I don't know if I'd
Yep.
advise people to go and buy stuff from people on Facebook Marketplace at the moment.
Yeah. My dad goes on there a lot, and he'll show me things, and he talks about it like he's gonna buy it, and then I get excited, and he doesn't.
The heck, Paulie?
Did it end?
Oh, the sale.
Somebody bought it. Somebody bought it. Dang. Oh well. Back to searching again. Well,
What
and
symbol was it?
it was like it was a Zildjian A from like the '60s,
Oh,
like a
nice. Very
20-inch
cool.
vintage. I found two. Like
Mhm.
if I couldn't get one, I'm gonna get the other. One had a rivets in it,
Oh, cool.
and the other one didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, you can take those rivets out, and it doesn't really
Yeah,
change the sound of the cymbal that
yeah.
much, which is nice.
But now I
You
can't get either. So,
oh.
and that chain I uh got from so and so, you know who I'm talking about. It broke.
Well, you should get one of the, I have one of them. You should get one of the ProMark things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like the thing you can put on.
Yeah, it's like a little plastic thing, and it has the felt inside of it, and on the plastic
Yeah.
thing, it has the But so have you recorded anything else for your channel yet? Anything that people should be expecting?
No.
Okay. Are you going
Oh
to
yeah.
record anything else for your channel, or is it just gonna be a lone "I wanna hold your hand" drum cover?
Well, eventually.
I
I
wanna
Nice.
um, I forget what tune it was that you sent us a video years ago, and it was your drum tutorial on how to play the drum fill.
Oh yeah.
Drive My Car, I think it was. Was it
Yeah, it
Drive My
was.
Car? Yeah,
Yeah.
that infamous fill that we've all now, Billy and I and
Yep.
you have all implemented into at least
Improperly.
Yeah.
one song per each collective show we've been in.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's probably made it in there multiple times.
Well, we've used a lot of fills. Achilles' Last Stand.
Achilles' Last Stand was one
We,
that we always used.
we used the I Am the Walrus fill
Yes.
in
I
Southern
was wondering
Rock.
if you remembered that or not. Was that what did you say? We use that in what?
It was Sweet Home Alabama, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I forget what fill it was that we played. And what I forget if it was you and me or if it was me and someone else when we did the fill in damn, what show was that? God, it was years ago. Where it was me and it was when we had 2 drum kits. What was the other show that we had 2 drum kits in?
Southbound?
No, it was before Southbound.
Um.
And it wasn't like we played the fill with percussion. I mean, there have been moments like that too where we've like doubled fills on the percussion.
Oh yeah.
Like
Take
Heartache
it to
Tonight.
that
and
one.
Take It
Take
to
it
the
to the
Limit too.
limit. I can't remember the.
Man, that's
It's
gonna
not.
bug me.
Woodstock?
It's not Wasn't Motown. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
wasn't.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Was it Motown?
Yeah. Now I can't remember what song it was.
Well.
It was it was the
long
song that
ago.
we switched out each night.
Oh.
Like one night it was me and you that played it, and the other night it was 2 other people.
Oh yeah, it was what's that Jackson 5 song? I Want You Back.
Yes, yeah, I remember we closed the show out with that one after they
Yes.
did Ain't No Mountain Higher. Or Ain't No
Yes.
Mountain High Enough, whatever. And there was a break in that one, and we had to play a fill to come back into it. And I think we used a fill from some song in that too. I forget what fill it was. But yeah, we did the I Am the Walrus fill. Cadet.
But have you added the crunge in anywhere?
I want to say that Billy did that at some point.
Added the what?
What?
The grunge. The crunge.
The crunge. I feel like I know what it is, just not by that name.
I'm not gonna play it.
Oh.
I'd play it, but I don't want to.
But yeah, surprising that works well with Simply for the Devil.
Yeah,
it worked really well.
You used that a lot during that one, and I'm sure you used it at some other point too.
I probably.
I remember the first time you used the Ringo Starr fill, or the Drive My Car fill. I think was it Even It Up.
It was Even It Up.
Yeah, I remember you came up to me right before that. You were going to do that song, and it was either during the dress rehearsal or during the Friday night show, and you were like, "I'm going to play Drive My Car." During Even It Up, you watch, and then I'm watching, and sure enough,
Yep, good times.
Yep. Before I play this song, we have a question here from Gerald Muccioli, I assume is how that's pronounced. I'm sorry, Gerald, if I pronounced that wrong. He says, Gerald. So, Tate, can you give us a bit of background on how you have trained lessons practice? Thank you for the question. So, and I'll let the other guys give a little bit of their background too. I started out just a lover of music from listening to music with my family, and so I was drawn to the drums naturally, kind of like your cliche banging on pots and pans story. And I don't need to go into that more. You nailed the last name. Cool. Good. So anyway, so that kind of stuff when I was a kid, and then I started drum lessons, I want to say when I was 6 or 7 with a man named Todd Egger, who Billy has also studied with.
Yep.
Over the past couple years.
Study with right now.
Yes.
Well, not right now, but
yeah. Gotcha. So he basically started me on reading basic rhythms, and so like his lesson structure for me and for Billy too, somewhat, has been like one lesson you do snare drum, and then the other week you do drum set. So it was back and forth like that. So I was learning how to read drum set music, and I was learning how to read snare drum music, and I was learning rudiments and stuff like that. Um, I started in the fifth grade band, and started doing that kind of stuff, and did all through middle school. And then at the end of my seventh grade year, I started attending the music school that the three of us, or that Montes and I have attended, and that the school that Billy's attending currently, called the Uptown Music Collective. If you see a lot of my live videos that are from 2019 and earlier, most of those videos are from performances with the Uptown Music Collective. And that's a music school based out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, that basically gets kids our age, in lessons, classes, and workshops, playing together and doing performances and stuff like that. So I started lessons there, and then after that, when I graduated high school, and I was still, I started studying with a guy named Bob Lydecker in 2017. Was that the year? Was that when we started studying with Bob Montis? Bob
Yeah.
Bob was hired
Uh-huh.
as a teacher at the collective, and Montis and I started lessons with him the same year. And so we started studying with him, and he really is a great jazz drummer, but also a great rock drummer. So I really learned how to read charts really well, and how to serve songs really well with him. And with Todd, I was still doing a lot of percussion technique stuff. I went through doing all of the um, PMEA band festivals. So through high school, I did district band and district orchestra and district jazz. And my senior year, I did state jazz. So I learned a lot through that. And I've, and along with playing at the collective, learning a lot about, playing with other people and that kind of stuff. Which I know, you know, I think that's the best way to learn and get better at your instrument and to become more solid, is when you can play with people. Like I think really, and I'm sure both of these gentlemen going through the collective too can testify to that, that when you play, or if either of you guys want to comment about that, um, being able to Montes is now on a brick wall. If you if you can play time really solid, I think that's one of the key things. You know, so but then from there, like I've been studying at college now with a guy named Dan Monahan for my past 2 semesters, and been playing in ensembles and stuff like that. But I think the core of where I've really been able to develop solidity and excuse me.
Oh.
I don't know if you can hear that. That's my speakers buzzing. Um, but yeah, that's how I've gotten a lot of my experience, has been playing with other people and playing with people my age at the collective, and eventually getting other gigs from those connections there. So, Billy, why don't you give us a little bit of background here real quick, and then Montes as well.
Yeah. So yeah, have you ever heard of the game Rock Band?
Yes, sir.
That's kind of where it
Mhm.
Beatles
started for
rock
me.
band, or just
Both of them actually, believe it or not. But yeah, even before that, I've always had an ear for that kind of stuff. And I started on guitar. I didn't know anything about it, but my parents both said I could keep rhythm, so that was, I don't know. But anyway, Rock Band came around, and then I just would always play the drums, and the foot pedal. I'd always smash the foot pedal and break it, and my dad would have to fix it because I just played it so hard all the time.
I can totally see it. I can.
Yeah, I think we still have the broken one that my dad fixed. He put 2 bars underneath it, 2 metal bars to keep it from breaking again. And then I I remember I went up to him and I said, "Dad, I'm not a guitar player. I'm a drummer." And he just hated the idea.
But
I
you're
don't know. But
both.
then what?
You're both.
I can yeah.
Billy is a jack of all trades, and a lot of people, when you think of someone that's a jack of all trades and they can play all the instruments, you think of someone that's like, yeah, I can play all instruments, and then they play each one and they're kind of good at each one. But like Billy really can shred the guitar, but then he can sit down at the drums and play a really nice groove and play some great stuff, and but then can also play a bass, and and it's not just like, oh, look at this, I can play on the guitar. Like I can sit down, I can play Layla on the guitar, but like that's not what I'm talking about. Like Billy's got the shit in his head, and he knows what he's playing on all the instruments, which is really great. Continue.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Montis, which Beatle are you on the album
You
cover?
turned into one of my favorite. I think he's
Oh,
George.
I'm right above. I don't have the CD in here.
George Harrison is like in your neck right now.
Yeah, we'll go with him.
That was a good
So,
choice as a Beatle.
sorry, Billy. Keep going.
No, that was a well needed interruption. I think that was. Well, thank you, Tate, for the kind words. That means a lot. But yeah, I told him I wanted to play drums. He didn't buy it at first, but then he got me a drum set.
Built
And
you one too.
he built. So my dad also builds a lot of stuff, and here I'm working on a video, and this will be in it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not, but my dad made that.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So this thing here, this is very, it's very fun.
How big's that drum? Do you
That is
know? Is
20.
it 18 or 20? Okay, 20.
I think it's 20. Yeah.
And Paul built two of the snare drums that I have that I've used on some of my videos too. If anybody watching that has seen some of my videos, looked into the description, I have kind of a list of some of the gear that I've been using in my covers. And next to Ludwig drums, I usually, if it's a different company that's made the snare drum, I'll put the name of that company too. And sometimes you'll see Bellino Custom Drums. Billy's dad, founder, entrepreneur of Bellino Custom Drums, craftsman, whatever you want to call him. So I have two of his snare drums here that we used in some of the collective shows last year. Anyways,
But yeah, I kind of fooled around on the drums for a little bit, and then we found Aaron Kennedy, and he taught me for quite a while. I think it was, oh man, I don't know how long. I started drum lessons when I was 7 with him, and that went a while. And then he moved to Nashville, and we still keep in touch. And he comes to visit every once in a while, and we went to visit him a few times. But he's really, really great. And if you don't know him, you should check him out. And then later on, I found the collective. Tate actually discovered me through, I don't know, you found a video of me playing Fly By Night, I think.
something like that on one of Aaron's social medias. He had multiple videos of you playing.
Yeah, but you
Really-
found that one.
Really young.
Yeah. And then he kind of showed me the collective, and then I got there, and I got into that, the program, the SPG1, and that's really been very beneficial for me in learning how to play with other people, and just getting to learn how things work. And at the collective, I studied with Adam Westover, another great drummer. And then later on, I went to study with Bob Lydecker, who I'm still with currently. And as Tate said, he's a really great jazz and rock drummer. And yeah, yeah.
And so now but you're also working with Todd, who
With
I
Todd,
started studying with. And
Yep. I studied with Todd before Bob.
Good job, Billy. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
So I'll let it out here for a second.
That's excellent.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
Tate and
Shit.
how many viewers do we have?
We have 7 viewers right now. Hi, everybody. Oh man. But if there's people watching this back, I hope you're getting a good laugh out of this. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what we're laughing about.
They have no idea.
Some people might, depending on who's watching.
Depends who's watching.
Yeah. I should have
I
known
think
that when we invited Mott to sit on this, we were gonna have some laughing fits.
Yeah.
I think I like my new background. I think.
It's just a picture though. It's not even really a background. Although you just start to like fade through it there. That was
Can you become his face?
Okay. Oh boy.
so Billy's also
Yeah.
studied with Todd Egger like I
Yeah.
have, and
I
has
started
been
with him 7th grade, I think.
and he's not just a great snare drum rudimental music reading drum set teacher.
No, he really does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does all the percussion stuff too. I've learned timpani technique and
Yep.
mallet percussion technique and stuff like that from him
As
too.
have I. Haven't gone to any festivals or districts yet, though.
So Montes, can you give us a little bit of background here? And I'm going to read while you're doing that. I'm going to read Gerald's other question here. Go ahead, Montes.
So yeah, originally I started out with piano, which is why I've become the mediocre pianist you guys know today.
Have you
I'm
gotten
all.
better? Have you
Better
gotten
than
better
me.
through college though? Because I know I have.
Oh yeah, I've gotten better. Yeah. But anyway, I've started piano when I was about maybe 9. Took that a couple of years. And that's similar to Billy. I also had Beatles rock band, and playing all the hits like "I Want to Hold Your Hand," "I Want You See So Heavy,"
And I
all
am the
that.
walrus.
"I'm the Walrus," yeah, all the hits. And so that happened. I got a drum kit when I was about, I think, 10, and yeah, I started at Robin Sides. My drum teacher there, I believe his name was Pat Patterson. He's a great guy. Don't know what happened to him though.
I don't know that
So
name.
yeah,
I don't
then
know.
then I kind of took like a couple years off of drum lesson till I went to the collective. Well, actually no, actually at collective because Richard Cummings didn't really teach me anything.
I was gonna say, you did actually? I was gonna ask you, did you actually ever take lessons with Rich or no?
I never did.
Richard A. Cummings.
No, I never got to visit his house either.
I forgot about that. That you're supposed to visit his house. Oh man.
So anyway, then I went to the collective. I started with good old Jesse, 44 Mag. Jesse, check him out.
Gabe Stillman Band.
Gabe Stillman, yes. Gabe Stillman band. So he was there for a couple of years. I was with him for a couple of years. And took brief lessons with Adam, good old drum skills. In the basement of the in the basement of the church at the old collective.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We were both in that.
Yep.
We were both in that.
I visited there once.
Did you really?
Yeah, you
Did.
but
I was
you didn't start at the old collective though.
no, I went to check the place out when I was in like 5th grade. And I ended up not going just because sports and stuff. And then later on, I was like, no, I think this is what I
Sports.
want to do. Yeah.
So then after Jesse, like Tate said, I went with Bobby Lidecker. Sadly, I only had him for 1 year because I got him my senior year. So I had him for a year. Then freshman year college, I took percussion lessons, like marimba. And that was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wanted to do drum lesson because I don't play marimba. And now I'm with Larry Muscle. And
Larry's great.
he's very great. We're getting ready to do some playing and odd meter stuff. Like he gave us this play along in 7. So that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
And I play, aside from drums, I have a sitar, which is fun.
And a
I
Stratocaster.
have I do have a Stratocaster, which I did upgrade to a new guitar over spring
Oh,
break.
really?
Really?
I now have an Epiphone SG.
Nice.
I wanted that good old Joe Harrison revolver
Mm-hmm.
guitar.
Not a bad sound.
No, it's not. I love it.
We have a few more comments here. Gerald says the backgrounds you guys have in studying your craft is easy to see in technique. Formal training and college training is important and shows in your playing, not so much in broadcasting skills. We
Very
are
true.
amateurs at broadcasting, and quite frankly, at drums too. But
This guy isn't. This guy isn't.
we're just having a good time chatting it up here. So
Yep.
not trying to be
Let's get,
professional or anything, but we're
let's get
having
a new
we're having
background.
fun. We are being a little bit giddy there, Christine. We apologize for that. And just so everybody knows, Nightshade likes mozzarella.
I also like mozzarella.
Mozzarella's good.
We have one more question here from Gerald too. We appreciate your questions. Um, so where do you guys see yourselves in 2 to 3 years with music? Monta, since you were on a roll there, I'll keep it on you there for a little bit.
Okay, so uh, since I'm in our music production, wait, where'd you guys go? Why'd I zoom in?
No, that was me. You were talking, so I put you on solo.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, since I'm in our music production major, I wanted to try to find work in like the recording studio and stuff. But then recently, for a project, we did the sound design project where you get sound effects and you like basically create them to make them your own, which I really enjoyed. So now I'm gonna try and hope to get into sound design, which
Oh, cool.
can be used anywhere, like Broadway, games, Bobby Lidecker. he, he might need it, but in all seriousness, I hope to do sound design because I really enjoy that, and yeah,
Cool.
so good job.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Sorry, I removed Montes there for a second instead of. Okay, I see how that works now. Sorry, I'm still learning how to use StreamYard here too. Billy,
Yes.
2 to 3 years you'll be graduating high school.
Yep.
But any thoughts on college? I've never really talked to you about this or anything.
Yeah, and I really haven't thought about it all that much. I really have no idea, because I've kinda grown to just like everything, every aspect of it, and I just don't know which direction really yet I would like to go. Um, so, yeah, and I've been looking into Berkeley, kind of, like, all the like, the workshops and stuff that they have, just,
Like
you know,
like
just to
going there over the summer.
yeah, just to try it out
Mm-hmm.
and see what I think about it. And then I know that I could follow Mr. Haravi's path and go to IUP. Um, I don't know.
Meaning you want to be an educator?
No, I don't know that I'd really be a good educator.
Good choice.
uh, I mean, I'd like to give like lessons, I suppose. Uh, it's a way to put money in my pocket, and it
Mhm.
seems like it's kind of fun sometimes. Um, but yeah, I really don't know which direction yet I'd like to take it.
Well, you've got time,
I do.
so
Yeah.
cool. Um,
How about you, Tate?
as far as myself goes, in 2 to 3 years, if I stay at Temple University, I will be graduating and going into the real world of music because that's what I plan on doing. Um, I would like to move to Nashville at some point. Um, we have a lot of friends that live in Nashville that we know that we used to go to the collective and whatnot. Um, and so you know can establish some more connections there through that. And I know some other people from Nashville too that I've been in touch with through social media and stuff, which is great. And I really want to, depending on what the summer lays out to look like, we don't know right now, but my family and I have been talking about taking a trip there. I've also thought about transferring to another school to learn about other things in music and get a different perspective and learn. differently from a different from different teachers and a different program at a different school. I've thought about that too. So whether I do that for a master's degree or I do that just for the second half of my college career, I really don't know. Again, too, it's we see what happens in the real world. I was joking with my parents the other night, and they asked, or I said something about, because I saw an article somewhere that said that we're already thinking about keeping fall semesters online or something like that. And I said, well, if that's the case, I'm switching my major. But yeah, in all seriousness, like, it would be great to record too, like to record in the studios, whether it be in LA or in Nashville or New York. The New York scene's pretty much dried up, but there's still some stuff that goes on in LA and in Nashville. Like it's just not as feasible, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
two, but like we've been talking about recording stuff at home here, and to be able to one day have a home studio where someone can send me tracks and I can at my own leisure go into my studio and record would be really fun. Um, but I'd also love to be on a tour someday and do something like that. Um, so other than that, I have no idea. But hopefully to get picked up by an artist and go on a tour, or record with some people. Um, but you got to move to where that's happening. So a move to Nashville would be great, I think. And
Hmm.
like to visit there first to see what it's like. But yeah.
It's fun.
Hmm. And we are now up to 9 viewers. We've all of a sudden
Wow.
spiked in viewers. And we do have another question here for Billy from Molly Chapman saying,
Oh, no.
Billy, planning on wearing another leopard print skirt soon. I'm sure in the darkness of his own house, Billy's
What?
prancing around in his leopard print skirt all the time.
I'm
Singing
embarrassed to
It Looks
admit
Like
it,
Lady.
but yeah.
Are you doing your own makeup now too?
Yeah, actually, I've gotten pretty good at it.
Good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you.
But no, I still have it. I was planning on like putting it in a plaque and giving it to Dave for like a end of the year present thing.
Well, you probably shouldn't have said that live on stream, but
No, I shouldn't. I don't know what I was thinking there. I just ruined the surprise.
Hey,
Unless
Bill,
you
you
wanna
want to explain what she means by that? Because I don't know what they're talking about.
I'd rather not.
Oh, fair enough.
all you have to do is look at the Collective's YouTube channel from the
Yeah,
Aerosmith
just
show.
look up
You'll find the
UMC.
video.
Dude looks like a lady.
All
I
right.
can't believe you didn't see that video, Montis.
Yeah.
I tend not to watch stuff like that.
Gerald
Yeah.
says all those college connections will pay off. Indeed, man. I'm already making some connections at school now, which have been really great, and I know will be long lasting. And Nightshade says you can thank YouTube recommendations. It went from food reviews to this. Well, we thank you for being here.
Thanks for
Nightshade.
being here.
If anybody else has any more questions, you can get them in now. We will answer them here after I share. We were talking about recording, and when I started thinking about recording, I was thinking about my buddy here, David Montis. And when I thought about my buddy David Montis being a
The
future
master.
recording engineer and sound designer, I thought of our record that we had tried to record. What has it been now? I'm looking at my email here, and I'm looking at a track that was sent on August 19th, 2017. So now almost this coming summer will be 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That we began a I think we should face the facts and say it was a failed project.
It was failed.
Due to
well, mainly because one person who was helping with us gonna remain nameless didn't really do anything.
But we wrote some songs and we were gonna do some covers. This is a cover here, so I hope this stream and video doesn't get flagged after the fact, but I'm going to attempt.
What song is it? Actually, no, that surprised me.
So we're going to attempt to. Oh, I hope you can't read anything in my email. Oh, you should be able to. Okay. Going to attempt to share this here. Shit, hold on. It started playing and I wasn't sharing it yet. Sorry for the cussing in this too.
Larry Muscle sent me a message.
Okay. Here we are. Can you see this?
Oh wow, yeah.
Right,
yes.
Get that.
Please enjoy, everybody. Okay, I'm getting some comments that are saying this can't be heard right now. Is that anybody else's case?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Can you hear it, Montes?
No, I can't hear it.
What the hell? We just sat here and played that for like. Hold on, let me. Hold on. Damn it. We just sat there for like ever.
Pull it up on your phone or something.
I thought I could share my screen. Maybe it was only sharing my screen though. So that means I was the only one hearing that the entire time. I figured that when I was sharing my screen, I could also share my audio. Hold on, let me try this again. Some screens let you share audio. Look for share audio checkbox on the next window. Sharing audio from Chrome. Oh, damn it. All right, we're gonna take two here, folks. Sorry, like I said, still learning how to use StreamYard here. Is that audible?
Yeah.
There it is.
What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friend. I get high with a little help from my friend. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away?
Does it worry you to be alone?
How do I feel by the end of the day?
Are you sad because you're on your own?
Oh, I get
By with little help from my friends.
I get
High
high
with little help from my friends.
Gonna
Try with little help from my friends. Do you need anybody?
I need somebody.
Did it
Did
just
you
stop
stop it?
again? No, I think it's buffering now.
I need somebody.
All right, that was enough of that.
You know, Tate, I think the best song that came out of that project was that 9-minute song we made.
Oh,
That
the one that we
psychedelic
recorded
song.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded it. It was a very jam-esque, spacey guitar track that we recorded. It was me.
Oh,
It was me. Well, I think I played a drum part. We were all
You
down
did.
here when we recorded it,
Uh-huh.
and everybody I think it was me and you, and I think Jeff was here, and Justin and Kellen were all here, and they all recorded different guitar parts for it.
I
I'll
do
have to find
remember.
that. I don't think I have that in the emails anywhere.
I remember on
And then-
one of our exciting, more exciting car rides home from the collective, you played that for me. That was pretty good.
I don't remember playing that.
Oh, I remember it.
I think that was the best song we did at that project.
Either that or Surreal to Me was pretty good.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was
what was the other one?
White Room was pretty good.
White Room was good, and Ben Frank.
Ben Frank, yeah.
Ben Frank was good. I think those were the only songs that were finished.
What else? Well, with a little help was semi-finished.
We were gonna do Help Me Rhonda.
Oh yeah.
And Meeting New Friends was pretty much done.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Because I remember adding the bell part to that. You wanted me to play a glockenspiel part on that song.
Yeah.
I remember sitting right here and I had my glockenspiel out next to my computer, and I was
Yeah.
So, got another question here from Gerald. Thank you again for all your questions, man. I know Tate has been influenced by Chicago Transit Authority and Danny Serafin, but what other bands / musicians have influenced you guys? Well, other than Chicago and Danny Serafin, for me, I've been really influenced by the other bands that I've done covers on, Steely Dan and Tower Power. So, in respect to them, David Garibaldi, Jeff Porcaro, Bernard Purdy, all those really great session musicians that had such a tight, great feel, but then could also play live, and they could gain that, they could still have energy, that they had, they had really great studio performances that had energy, but they also had really great live performances. You can hear that in those guys' recordings. I'm also a really big fan of Steve Gadd and all the artists that he's played for, multitudes of them. Eric Clapton being one of the ones that really jumps out to me, and all the other drummers that have played with Clapton, Steve Jordan, and I know Jim Keltner's done a lot of recording for him. I know Montis is a Jim Keltner fan. Um, Rush has always been a big influence. I know they've influenced all of us here, and Neil, God bless his soul, lost him too soon. And you know, thinking of some other jazz rock bands, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm also a really big fan of rock bands, British rock bands and American rock bands. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers is one that really jumps out. We did a Tom Petty show with the collective last year. And of course, we were talking about the Beatles as well. We talked about the Beatles a little bit last time. I wonder if we could do one of these shows and not talk about the Beatles. And that just
Yep.
kind of shows how impactful they've been on music and whatnot. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anybody. I hope not. When people ask me about bands, I always get on Spotify and look. I look at what I've been listening to. Obviously, big jazz greats too. Tony Williams and all the stuff that he's done with Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock and whatnot. And who else am I looking at? Or have been listening to? Steve Smith and Journey is one. It's always been a great influence. Yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything. Um, Montes and Billy, whoever wants to go first, talk a little bit about your influences.
You want to go, Billy?
Um,
Go ahead, Bill.
sure. I mean, I kind of pretty much everything Tate said kind of sums up who has influenced me. And to kind of tag along with the Beatles thing, uh, not just Ringo, but everybody else. Like even after that, when they split up and they were doing their solo work, a lot of great, drumming can be heard on their solo stuff. And even today with Paul McCartney, Abe Laboriel Jr., he's
God, he's such
phenomenal.
a powerful player.
He really is.
I've
I
never seen
actually,
someone hit the drums so hard as he has.
yeah, and
mean,
I did a
Neil,
report.
go ahead.
I did a report on him when I was in like 6th grade.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean Neil was a really hard hitter, but like if I were to put up at the top of the list, I'd put Neil there, but Abe's up there too, man. He just
yeah,
hits so freaking hard.
yep.
I
But
mean,
he's
like
very,
swinging over his head, like
yep. But his playing is still tasteful though, and it's really
Mhm.
really cool to see somebody that heavy hitting and powerful be able to back Paul McCartney up.
hmm and he's a great singer too.
That too, yeah, he really is. He
Which
does all the high harmonies.
one of the main and prime examples of drummers that can sing will get employed more. And that's something that Mr. Egger
Yep,
used to always tell me.
yep. And Aaron Kennedy preached that too.
hmm
Yep.
So Montes,
Well, again, Beatles, as
Yes, sir.
as everybody, basically everybody back here, that this whole wall of nonsense been influenced by, like Ringo, Charlie Watts from the Stones. I love watching him play. It's simple, but at the same time, it's kind of like
there are intricacies that aren't
yeah,
that aren't noticed right away.
yeah. And see who's another one. Again, Jim Keltner played on a lot of solo Beatles stuff. A lot of Ringo. I think he played with Joe Harrison a few
Mhm.
times.
Yeah, well, he was at the concert for George,
He was, yes.
Yeah.
And
which reminds me of one inspiration that I forgot to say: Ray Cooper.
oh yeah, Ray Cooper. And but outs other artists other than drummers, like obviously, if you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of
hmm
Yep.
this guy right here, and the band who Levon Helm is another. simple drummer. Well, not simple, but it's not like you're flashy like Keith Moon, but it's intricate. Like he has a distinct playing style, which it's hard to copy.
Mhm.
And again, Chicago, big Chicago fan.
Mhm. And not just like, and I'm not just a fan of Danny Serafin, and I know you guys aren't either, but Tristan Bowden was great with them, and Walfredo Reyes Jr., who's
Yeah.
currently with them, is so great too. Montes and I
Mhm.
just saw them this past summer. I have tickets to go and see them again in October,
Are
you
you
know,
seeing them?
at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it should be good. Keep going,
Um,
unless that was it.
um, been listening. Neil Young is another cool inspiration to me.
Mhm.
He's great. That's pretty
There's
much it.
Go ahead.
I said that's pretty much it.
Okay. There's one that I really forgot about, and another that I'm just really starting to get into. The one that I'm really starting to get into right now goes along with Jeff Porcaro has been Boss Gags. I just sorry. I just recently listened to Silk Degrees the entire way through, and I mean that's just a great album. And Jeff's on most of that album, I believe. I should have looked when I was listening to it, but that Boss Gags, and so I'm wanting to listen to some more of his stuff too. But he's really great, and Michael McDonald too. If you want to talk about the Dukes of September, anywho, one that I totally forgot about, which I feel bad that I forgot, but is of course the one and only John Bonham.
Yeah.
I think has
Oh
influenced all
yeah,
of us
I don't
too.
know
We
how
were
we
talking
passed that.
about
yeah,
we were talking about playing the Achilles Last Stand fill earlier.
yeah.
You know, but he created some really great drum parts that made those songs, much like a lot of these other drummers that we're talking about. Like certain songs by some of these bands that we're talking about would not have been that type of song or sounded that way without the drummer that's on that recording.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's really where I think a lot of the influence from them come from. And whether it's a hard part or it's a simple part, the whole deal is serving the song, and that's what
Hmm.
you can really take away from drummers. So I think with that, unless you guys want to talk about anything else, we've been going for an hour and 18 minutes and 22 seconds now, and I think it's been a great live stream.
Oh
We
yeah.
certainly didn't get the turnout that we had last time. I think that's all right though. I think if we keep doing these a little more often, if people enjoy them, if you're watching this after the fact or listening to this even just for a little bit, I don't know if you got to the end, but if you did, let us know if you'd like us to do more of these. First one turned out okay. This one was great too. We still had some questions and whatnot, and we appreciate them, of course. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this. Sorry, we are not as professional as we'd probably want to be, and that we got the giggles there. God bless America. We thank you all for tuning in. We have 5 viewers now. I think we were up to 10 at one point, or 9 or 10. So,
Nice.
we're getting there. We hope that you guys enjoy this. We're just sitting here hanging out during the quarantine, talking about what we do, playing the drums, listening to music,
Mhm.
playing music, all that
Yes,
kinds of
sir.
fun stuff. So, with
Stay
that,
safe.
yeah, stay safe,
Yep.
stay at home. Don't make this longer than it has to be.
Right.
And we feel
If I
bad
don't
for the
get to
seniors.
if I don't get to go to the beach this year, I'm gonna blame all of you.
Yeah, and if I don't get any gigs if all my gigs get canceled this summer.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Italy this summer. Did you know that? Whole
Really?
family's going to
Oh,
Italy.
hey,
Can't go anymore.
this canceled Bob's trip to Greece, okay?
Really?
So, yeah, it did.
Mhm.
So,
That's not fair, man.
we're gonna get through it though.
We're gonna
We
get
hope
through it. It's gonna
everybody
be
Yep.
fun.
we hope everybody are enjoying these as much as you can. I'm sure they get boring, but whatever. Again, thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. I'm gonna try and link some stuff in the description that we were talking about if I remember. So look for that if you're interested. And until next time, like Montes said, stay safe. Keep playing and listening to music and making the best that you can out of this situation that we're in. All right, gentlemen. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Montes. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you can join us again.
Yeah.
Uh, Billy, thank you for
I'll be
hanging out.
here.
Thank you
And,
for doing it.
Yeah, of course. Cool. See you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.